Have you ever been so filled with joy and gratitude that you just had to sing? Well, in Exodus chapter 15, we find what might just be the oldest song recorded in the entire Bible. And this isn't some hymn that was carefully written in a quiet room. No, this is a raw, spontaneous, powerful explosion of praise from people who just saw the most impossible thing happen. Let's dive into this incredible moment. Just try to picture this. The whole nation of Israel is standing on the shore of the Red Sea. The water they just walked through on dry land has crashed back down, completely swallowing the most powerful army on the planet. The enemy that haunted them for generations is just gone in an instant. And in that moment of just pure awe, Moses starts to sing. And this is the very first line. It's a declaration that this victory wasn't theirs. It was all God's.
So this first part of the chapter is just pure, unfiltered praise. You can almost feel them trying to find the words for the miracle they just witnessed. And in doing so, they paint this amazing picture of who God is to them.
What I think is so amazing here is how personal this praise gets right away. Notice they don't say, "The Lord has strength." They say, "He is my strength. He is my song. He has become my salvation." They connect this unbelievably powerful warrior God to their own lives, to their own families. He is my Father's God. This isn't some distant, abstract idea. This is the God who just showed up for them, personally.
And this verse, man, this is the heart of the entire song. It's a question, but they already know the answer, right? It's obvious. No one, nobody is like the Lord. Remember, they just came from Egypt, a land that had a God for practically everything. But not a single one of them could do this. So their praise isn't just about what God did, it's about who He is. Totally unique, holy, awesome, a doer of wonders.
What an incredible moment. The whole nation united in worship on the shores of their salvation. But the story doesn't end there. And what comes next brings up a question for all of us, I think. How do you hold on to that kind of faith when the emotional high is gone and the harsh reality of life starts to set in? So the story shifts, and it shifts fast. They go straight from the beach party at the Red Sea right into the wilderness. The celebration is over, and a very real, very hard test is about to begin. Can you just feel the desperation building here? For 3 straight days, they're walking in the desert sun with nothing to drink. Yeah, the memory of that miracle is still fresh, but right now, the thirst is what's real. The thirst is overwhelming. By day 3, you have to imagine they were absolutely frantic. So they finally spot water. The place is called Mara, which actually means bitter. Imagine the crushing disappointment. You see the one thing you need to survive, you run to it, and it's undrinkable. And just like that, the song of praise we just heard turns into a murmur of complaint. All that fear and frustration comes out, and it's aimed right at Moses.
This comparison is just so powerful because it lays the two moments side by side. It's night and day. Only 3 days before, they're singing, "Who is like you, O Lord?" a question that comes from a place of awe and faith in His power. Now, they're asking, "What are we going to drink?" a question that is just soaked in doubt about His ability to provide. Their focus went from God's infinite power to their immediate problem.
But you know, God's goal here wasn't to punish them. It was to teach them, to show them something new about His character that they desperately needed to learn. He's about to respond not just to their physical thirst, but to that bitterness that was creeping into their hearts.
And look at the difference in the response. The people grumble at Moses. What does Moses do? He cries out to the Lord. In response, God shows him a tree. And Moses, in a simple act of obedience, throws it into the water. And just like that, the bitter water becomes sweet. God gave them a supernatural solution that was unlocked by a simple act of faith.
And this is the whole point of Mara. Right after He provides the sweet water, God gives them a new name for Himself. He says, "I am Jehovah Rapha," which means, "I am the Lord that healeth thee." See, this was never just about a water problem. God was showing them that He's the one who can heal all the bitter areas of their lives. He is the God who restores.
But the story doesn't even end there with the lesson. God follows up this incredibly difficult test with a real, tangible display of His overwhelming grace and His provision for them.
After leaving Mara, they get to this place called Elim. And what do they find there? Not just one well, but 12 wells of water. Now that number is so important. There were 12 tribes of Israel. This was God's way of showing them, "I have specific, complete, personal provision for every single one of you."
And that's not all. There were also 70 palm trees. So this wasn't just a quick stop for a drink.
This was an oasis, a place of rest and shade and food. After the bitterness of that test at Marah, God leads them to a place of absolute abundance. What a beautiful picture of His grace.
And that really brings it all home for us. That journey, from the Red Sea to Marah to Elim, it's such a powerful picture of our own lives, isn't it? We all have those amazing victory moments, and we all have times when we're wandering in a dry wilderness. And we definitely all face our own bitter water disappointments. So the question this chapter leaves me with is this: when I'm staring into my own bitter waters, do I remember the song? Do I remember to cry out to the God who is not only a mighty warrior, but is also Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals?